Everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is Bhupesh. Hope you're doing perfectly well. So today we're gonna talk about another interesting session on open telemetry. Uh, I'm getting a lot of requests how to send the data from open using open telemetry from Kubernetes cluster to the Grafana cloud, and so on. We have done a lot of sessions in the same playlist on Ubuntu machines, not on Kubernetes cluster. Using Minikube cluster for today's session. And in the last session, if we see, we have sent successfully the matrices generated in the cluster, the health matrices basically generated by node exporter and the OTEL collector matrices. But today, we are gonna see how to make sure that I'm able to get the pod related logs from a Minikube cluster across different namespaces, and I'll send that thing to Grafana using OpenTelemetry agent. And today I'm gonna use OpenTelemetry Helm chart, which is being provided by the community in their website. So quickly get started. What we can do in today's session, we'll install Prometheus just for uh, capturing the pod instances. We'll install Grafana in the namespace, and then we'll install OTEL collector agent as an Helm chart, and we'll capture the log from all the different pods that are running not only in this namespace but in other namespace, and we'll send data to Grafana cloud. So we are gonna send the data to Grafana cloud, not to this local Grafana, just to understand the Grafana cloud connectivity also from OTEL collector agent. So let's get started. If you have not liked and subscribed the channel, please do that so that you can find a lot of videos pertaining to Grafana, OpenTelemetry, Elasticsearch, AWS Cloud, and so on. Okay, and I have created a small page for you so that you can simply mimic the same thing onto your machine or onto any other you know cloud related instances, and then I'll be posting the link of this URL into the description of this video. Please do check out, and yeah, let's get started. So I have a VS Code already opened, which I will be referring this session. And if you do not know how to create a Grafana cloud account, you can refer the Grafana cloud first video into the other playlist, which I'll again post into the description section. Okay, so first of all, we need to install Prometheus. I'm installing Prometheus only for the sake of creating a pod onto the Minikube cluster. But let's do that. So this is my repo which I'm talking about. Okay, and then first of all, I'll just install Prometheus from an open source community. I can simply one second np go here. I'm into which namespace? I'm into metrics namespace. Perfect. I'll just install the Prometheus from Prometheus. I'm just enabling a remote write receiver, so I'm installing this Prometheus Helm chart with this, the values.yaml file. Perfect. Let me see if it is installed. Yes, it is installed. What about the pods? Pods are running. Prometheus pods are coming up nicely. Now, what is the next step? I need to install uh, Grafana. So I'll just repo add. I'll just add the repo and then I'll install the Grafana, the vanilla version of Grafana using Helm chart. So, I'm not going to discuss what is the content of this Helm chart. That is seriously straightforward. You can do untar of the Helm chart and then understand what is there in the Grafana Helm chart. So I can see Grafana running, Prometheus running. Perfect. Now let's go back and understand this open telemetry Helm chart. So before I run it, now I will take a small pause. I've added that repo. This is the repo where I will be installing Helm chart. So before I do that, let first of all understand this. So this is the command which I will be using, Helm upgrade install my open telemetry name of the Helm chart from this repository, and I am passing this values.yml. This is very important to understand and what is there in this. Okay, this is the values file which I am passing in this Helm chart. Okay, let's see what is there in this. So I'm saying that please consider the deployment mode as a daemon set. Why daemon set? Why not deployment? Interesting thing, because we need to capture logs from each node across namespaces. So daemon set is the only thing which will get installed as a different container on each node. and logs will be captured accordingly. So that is the reason we need to make sure that we are giving mode as a daemon set. Now this is the another value file which I need to pass into my Helm chart. What is the image you want to take it from the OTEL collector? So I want to take the Kubernetes image that is being published by this community. I'll take this now. Log collections enable true, include collector logs. Yes, I want to include the OTEL collector logs also. This is another value. Now this is very important configuration that you need to understand. You might have seen in my previous videos, when we create any OpenTelemetry configuration, we need to pass three things. Okay, exporter, processors, and receivers. So if I'm not providing receivers and processors in this configuration, then by default it would be OTLP as a receiver, which will receive the logs. Processors would be batch and whatever is the default configuration, and then exporter where I need to send those logs. All right. So I need to send these logs to my OTLP exporter, which is having this endpoint. It is nothing but your Grafana cloud endpoint. Normally, when you see my previous video, I'm using API v1 push extension. At the end, you need to put OTLP. This is for OpenTelemetry Collector, and then you need to pass the authenticator basic auth. Basic auth would be your Grafana Cloud username and the Grafana Cloud password. So let me plug in Grafana Cloud password here. See, this is a slightly a different thing where I'm using Grafana Cloud as a destination to send the logs, okay, to the Loki instance which is provided by Grafana Cloud. And extensions is again basic auth and the health check. This is the pipeline. So logs pipeline under OpenTelemetry. Receivers are OTLP, processors is batch, and then this is the exporter of OT, OTLP, HTTP. So this is the one. It will go to this location, all the logs. Now, if you want to understand more about how this Helm chart works, so you can simply go and check the OpenTelemetry Helm chart. Okay, understanding, and then you can go to this GitHub page, or you can go to here, right? And for this, you can do untar also, correct? So we are using this OpenTelemetry collector. Okay, and these there are certain examples also. But before you go to example, let me show you the demonstrate example. Demonstrate only. See, we are doing something similar to this. We are doing mode as demonstrate, and this is the util collector, right? Config map agent. This is the config map. What is the config map? Exporters, extensions, processors, batch, receivers, OTLP protocol. Okay, these are all receivers. See, if I'm not passing anything, so these are the default thing. These are the receivers, pipelines. These log pipelines. This is what we are trying to use. Demonstrate and service accounts. Basically, it is deploying these components. Okay, and that is pretty much. Let me go ahead, and this is the Helm chart that I'm using it. Okay, Open Telemetry Collector chart. So you see I'm using the same Helm chart. I'm not doing anything fancy. And this is the configuration. See, and I'm using the file log receiver basically for capturing the logs. So when I say file log receivers, I'm saying, let me open that configuration. Yes. So I will be getting my logs from all these container locations. Okay. And I'll be doing a regex parser so that I can get uh, variable name like. Okay. We'll be getting variable name like container name. Okay. Yeah. See, container name, namespace name, pod name, all these things I'll be getting it. And that is the part of Helm chart only. Okay. I'm not doing anything fancy because Helm chart is using file receiver for logs pipeline. Okay. So this is all about documentation. See, I've explained all these things pretty quickly, but if you want to read it, just read this Helm chart, how it is working, and then so on. And these are the certain examples also how it works. Okay. So let's get back to my GitHub page or the documentation. This is my additional values.yaml file which I'm passing. So just think about this piece. I'm passing the configurations. This is my Grafana cloud. This is my exporter, and then the pipelines is the log pipelines that I'm trying to modify. Let's go back and then run this command. Let's see the magic. Hopefully, magic should work. I'm just running this OTEL collector agent. Fortunately, no error here. Helm list clear HL. Okay, KGP. Okay, logs. My hotel collector pod is running now. Let me see if there's any error in the pod log. This is my hotel collector. Good. There are no errors that are coming, which means it looks to be okay. So how many namespace we have? We have metrics. We have all the different namespaces. Let's see whether I'm getting logs for all these pods on my Grafana Cloud instance. Okay. So this is my Grafana Cloud instance. Let me do a quick refresh of last 5 minutes. Okay, let me do a quick refresh here. Let me delete the unused pages. Okay, I'll just select the labels. See, I'm getting all those important labels. So if I do create a namespace for matrix namespace, how much logs I'm getting? I'm getting all the logs, and these logs started popping up few minutes ago only. There are certain error logs also. Yeah, so this is fine. So let me just go back and then do some additional. I want to see particular pod. Suppose I want to see collector logs. I can do that thing. I can get the collector logs. Okay, and I can put all those things into my right hand side. I can get the matrix pod UID log stash service name base ID if it has. So not, and moreover, not only from this namespace, I can get logs from different namespace also. So if I select cube system, okay, am I getting any logs? Yes, you are getting logs from this service name, from this pod name also. There's a pod name. There's no pod name anyway. So that is pretty much, this session was pretty straightforward. I have not done anything fancy. I've just installed, this is just for pod references. I've installed OpenTelemetry agent with the help of Helm chart by providing these certain configurations where I'm saying install it in the form of daemon set, take this image, enable log collection, take the file log receiver, get the log from all the pods, and send it to Grafana Cloud. This is the, and I've changed only the exporters, and I've explained where you can check the detail level, what is happening. Let's see what has happened in this gig at all. Okay, so my Helm chart of Open Telemetry Collector, what is it has installed? It has installed a daemon set. Okay, and it has installed one service, and it has installed one pod. That is what we saw in the go to the GitHub page, right? Only three components, and I can see Helm list, Helm get manifest. Huh? So let's see what is being installed by this guy, Open Telemetry Collector. What all manifest it has installed. So it has installed your daemon set, right? It has installed your config map. Now see the config map. Okay, you will understand. See, that is the reason you should see. I'm passing client auth username and password. Okay, see the processors. Okay, so we'll check the receiver. So processors is batch. See the receiver, file log receiver. So I'm saying I will receive all my logs using file log receivers, and this is the same configuration that I was explaining on to GitHub page, right? And then I have a service extensions pipeline is log exporters, processors, and receivers. So I'm receiving my, concentrate on this pipeline. I'm receiving my logs in file log, processing it using batch, and then sending it to OTLP HTTP, which is Grafana Cloud. Right, this is the log pipeline. We'll talk about traces pipeline in next session, but yeah, so pretty simple, straightforward. I've created a service account, right? I've created a config map and then I've created a daemon set, which is actually scanning all the logs from all the pods, right? I'll take the pause. If you have any doubts and queries, do let me know in the comment section. I'm taking it very slow because this is a very important session of open telemetry, and people are generally asking how to send metrics, logs from Kubernetes cluster to any Grafana instance. It can be a local Grafana instance, it can be a Grafana cloud, it can be Ubuntu based Grafana, or it can be any Grafana, right? When I say Grafana, it's actually a Prometheus for matrices, Locky for logs, and Tempo for traces. Grafana is just a visualization tool, and then I can add those data sources in Grafana and can visualize the thing over dashboards. So yeah, that is pretty much. I'll take a pause. Thank you for now. See you again in the next session of collecting traces from Kubernetes cluster for an application, and then we'll send it to Grafana Cloud. Okay, and before we wrap up, do not forget to like and subscribe the channel because you'll see a lot of videos pertaining to your needs or your specific use cases. And yeah, goodbye.